Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a story of absolutely impossible odds of a baby condemned to die who grows up to challenge an entire empire. We are breaking down the incredible story of Moses. So how does that happen? How does a baby literally floating in a basket end up freeing an entire nation? Well, our story kicks off at a time of great fear, where in ancient Egypt, the Israelite people are enslaved and a truly cruel new law threatens their entire future. And it's right into this world that Moses is born. So, here's the situation. In Egypt, a new Pharaoh comes to power, and he's getting nervous. He sees the growing number of Israelites, and he's afraid. So first, he enslaves them. But his fear goes way deeper than that. He gives a horrifying order. Every single newborn Israelite boy is to be thrown into the Nile River. So Moses is born right under this death sentence. You can imagine his mother's desperation. She puts him in a basket and sets him afloat on the Nile, hoping for a miracle. And in this just incredible twist of fate, he's found by Pharaoh's own daughter. So get this, Moses, an Israelite boy, grows up as a prince of Egypt. But when he's an adult, he sees an Egyptian taskmaster brutalizing one of his people, and he snaps. He kills the Egyptian and has to flee for his life, becoming a fugitive in exile. So for years, Moses is just gone. He's living as a shepherd in a place called Midian, a fugitive, totally removed from the power of Egypt. But then one day, while he's just out there tending his flock, he has an encounter that's going to change not just his life, but pretty much the course of history. I mean, can you even imagine seeing that? A bush totally engulfed in flames, but the leaves aren't scorching. The branches aren't turning to ash. It's just burning. As Moses gets closer to this impossible sight, a voice calls out to him, and it's about to hand him a monumental task. And the voice? It's God. He tells Moses that he has seen the terrible suffering of the Israelites back in Egypt, and he has chosen him, Moses, to go back and lead them all out of slavery. Now, Moses' reaction here is so incredibly human, and I think this is what makes this story so powerful. He's not some ready-made hero. He is full of self-doubt. He argues, "The people won't believe me." God says, "Don't worry, I'll give you miraculous signs." He says, "But I don't speak well. I'm not a good public speaker." God reminds him, I'm the one who made your mouth." And when Moses finally just begs, "Please just send someone else," God doesn't get up on him. Instead, he provides a partner. Moses' brother, Aaron, will be his spokesman. It just goes to show, leadership here isn't about being perfect from the start. It's about finding a way forward, even with your limitations. All right, so armed with this divine mission, and with his brother Aaron by his side, Moses heads back to the land he once fled. He's not a fugitive shepherd anymore. Now he's an ambassador for God, and he's about to go head-to-head with the most powerful man on the planet. So that first meeting, it's a total disaster. In fact, it completely backfires. Pharaoh basically laughs in their faces, and then, just out of spite, he makes life even harder for the Israelites, increasing their workload. This refusal, this arrogance, is what kicks off this dramatic, terrifying display of power. Things just keep escalating. First, they show a sign. Aaron's staff turns into a serpent, and it literally swallows the serpents of Pharaoh's own magicians. But Pharaoh's not impressed, so God unleashes 10 devastating plagues on Egypt. The Nile River turns to blood, swarms of frogs, then gnats, then flies, livestock dying, boils, hail, locusts. Darkness covers the entire land. And yet, after every single one, Pharaoh's heart remains hard. He just will not give in. The 10th and final plague was the most terrible of all, the death of every firstborn in Egypt. You have to imagine the sound that night, a great cry of grief echoing all through the land, from the richest palace to the poorest dungeon. It was this immense, unthinkable tragedy that finally broke Pharaoh. In the middle of the night, he calls for Moses and Aaron and tells them, "Get out, take your people, and just go." And they do. The Israelites leave immediately. They move so fast they don't even have time to let their bread rise. And God himself is guiding them, appearing as this pillar of cloud by day to show them the way, and a pillar of fire by night to give them light. But of course, it's not that simple, is it? As soon as the Israelites are gone, Pharaoh changes his mind. He thinks, "What have I done?" He gathers his entire army, all his chariots, and he chases after them. And he corners them right up against the shore of the Red Sea. They are completely trapped. You have the sea in front of you and the most powerful army in the world bearing down on you from behind. The people, understandably, are panicking. They're screaming at Moses, sure that he just led them out into the desert to be slaughtered. But in this moment of just absolute terror, Moses stands firm. He tells them, "Don't be afraid, just stay calm. The Lord is going to fight for you." And then, at God's command, Moses raises his staff over the sea. A powerful east wind starts to blow, and it blows all night long, pushing the water apart until the seabed itself is dry land. The Israelites start walking right through the middle of the sea, on dry ground, with a wall of water towering over them on their right and on their left. The Egyptian army doesn't hesitate. They charge right in after them, into the path of the sea. But once the very last Israelite is safely on the other side, God tells Moses to raise his hand again, and the walls of water just collapse, rushing back into place, completely swallowing Pharaoh and his entire army. Israel was saved. Their freedom was sealed by a miracle that was impossible to deny. So they're free, but now what? The journey is really just beginning. They've begun this long trek through a harsh, unforgiving wilderness, all heading toward a promised land. But now that they're away from everything they've ever known, their faith and their resolve are about to be tested in totally new ways. And you know, that high of being free, it wears off pretty fast when you're in the middle of a desert and you're hungry. The people start complaining to Moses, there's no food. So God provides this strange bread-like substance from the sky every morning that they call manna. Then they complain about being thirsty. So God tells Moses to strike a specific rock, and when he does, water gushes out for everyone. 3 months into their journey, they arrive at the foot of this imposing, incredible mountain, Mount Sinai. And the scene is just epic. There's thunder, lightning, smoke, the sound of a massive trumpet blast. And from the midst of it all, God calls Moses to come up the mountain to meet with him. And up on that mountain, Moses receives what is essentially a blueprint for a brand new society. We know them as the 10 Commandments. But look, these aren't just some random list of don'ts. This is a fundamental shift. For a people who have only ever known slavery, this is a covenant, a secret agreement. It establishes who they are, it defines what justice looks like, and it lays out how they're supposed to live together as a free nation, how to relate to God and how to relate to each other. In the end, what's so amazing about Moses is that he wasn't just a general or a king. He was a prophet who had this unparalleled personal connection to the divine. This idea that he spoke with God face to face, as one speaks to a friend, it's incredible. His journey, from a baby in a basket to the liberator of a nation, really shows how an ordinary, reluctant person can be transformed by an extraordinary calling. And it really leaves you wondering, doesn't it? What does it truly take to lead a people not just out of bondage, but into building a whole new world? Watch our next video, like and share to someone you care.